She is 34 years old. She is intelligent. She is successful. She is everything her younger self dreamed of becoming. And for the third time in her adult life, she has just ended a relationship with a man who made her feel exactly the way her father made her feel when she was 7. She does not understand why this keeps happening. The answer is not in her choices. The answer is in something that was written into her mind before she could read. Different job, same frustration, different partner, same argument, different city, different year, different version of you, and somehow the same emotional weather follows you everywhere you go. Most people call this bad luck, bad timing, or other people being difficult. It is none of those things. According to research by cellular biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, 95% of the decisions you believe you are making today are not decisions at all. They are reruns, programs written into your mind so long ago, you have forgotten they were ever written. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you exactly how that programming happened, why your brain defends it so fiercely, and the one question that finally breaks the loop. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain is not yet running the operating system you use today. It is running something much older, much more dangerous, much more permanent. Neuroscientists have mapped this using EEG, the same technology that measures brain waves in hospitals. Before the age of 2, a baby's brain operates almost entirely in delta, the slowest brainwave state. The same state adults enter only in the deepest stages of sleep. Between 2 and 6, the brain shifts into theta, the same state professional hypnotists spend years learning how to induce. Theta is the door to the subconscious. And for the first 7 years of your life, that door is wide open. Everything you witnessed during those years was recorded. Not analyzed, not questioned, recorded. Every argument between your parents, every time you were praised, every time you were ignored, every moment you felt safe, every moment you felt afraid, all of it, downloaded directly into the hard drive of your subconscious mind, without a filter, without your permission, without you even knowing it was happening. You did not choose what went in. You could not have. A child watching her mother apologize to a man who hurt her learns that love requires apology. A child whose father only smiled when he brought home good grades learns that he is only worthy when he is performing. A child who was told stop crying every time she felt something real learns that her feelings are a problem to be managed. A child who watched her mother shrink to keep the peace learns that being small is how a woman stays safe. None of these children remember the lesson. None of them can quote it back to you. But 30 years later, they are still living it. This is what Dr. Lipton calls behavioral programming, and neuroscience now confirms the mechanism. The child's brain, operating in theta, has no critical filter. It cannot question what it is seeing. It simply records the emotional blueprint of the people around it, and assumes this is how the world works. You did not inherit your parents' eye color and nothing else. You inherited their flinches, their silences, their unspoken rules about love and safety and worth, and now you are passing them on. Here is what almost nobody understands about the subconscious mind. Its primary job is not to make you happy. It is not to make you successful. It is not even to make you healthy. Its primary job, the only job it has ever had, is to keep you alive by keeping you familiar. The subconscious treats familiar and safe as the same word, even when the familiar is painful, even when the familiar is slowly destroying you. This is why the woman in the cafe keeps choosing the same man. Her subconscious does not see him as dangerous. It sees him as home. This is why the man who grew up with nothing keeps sabotaging his success the moment he gets close to real money. His subconscious does not see wealth as a reward. It sees it as a foreign country, and the subconscious does not like foreign countries. This is why you keep going back to the job, the habit, the relationship, the version of yourself you swore you were done with. Your conscious mind wants to change. Your subconscious wants to survive. And in any argument between the two, the subconscious wins every single time. There is a number in the research on this, that most people never hear. According to Dr. Timothy Wilson, a psychology professor at the University of Virginia, your conscious mind, the part of you that thinks, plans, and decides, can process around 40 bits of information per second. Your subconscious processes around 11 million. Read that again. For every one decision you think you are making, your subconscious is making hundreds of thousands more in the background without telling you. It is choosing which faces to notice in a crowded room, which words to hear in a conversation, which opportunities to see, and which to walk past without ever registering. It is running a filter over reality itself, and that filter was built when you were 4 years old, by a version of you who was trying to survive people and situations you have long since forgotten. You are not living in reality. You are living in the version of reality your subconscious was taught to expect. When you meet someone new, your subconscious scans them in milliseconds. If any part of them matches the emotional blueprint of someone from your early life, their tone, their posture, the way they withhold attention, your subconscious lights up and says, I know this one. This one is familiar. Choose this one. It is not choosing who is good for you. It is choosing who is recognizable. The woman in the cafe, the one we met at the beginning, eventually found a therapist who asked her one question nobody had ever asked before. When you were a child, what did you have to do to be loved? She did not have an answer at first. Nobody ever does. But over the weeks, something surfaced. She had to be quiet. She had to be small. She had to be the one who understood, the one who forgave, the one who never asked for too much, and every single man she had ever chosen as an adult had required exactly those same things from her. She had not been choosing men. She had been choosing the chance to finally be loved on those old, familiar terms, the chance to win the argument she never got to win when she was 7. The moment she saw this, really saw it, she cried for 2 hours straight. And then something began to shift. There is a lot of advice on the internet about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Affirmations, visualization, hypnosis, meditation, journaling, breath work, cold exposure, all of these can help, but none of them are the first step. Because here is what neuroscience has now proven. The brain is plastic. In the 1940s, psychologist Donald Hebb discovered that neurons that fire together wire together. Every thought you repeat, every reaction you rehearse, physically reshapes the architecture of your brain, which means the loop you are living in is also a loop you can rewrite. But rewriting requires something most techniques skip over: recognition. You have to catch the loop in the act. The next time you feel pulled toward a choice you have made 100 times before, the familiar fight, the familiar person, the familiar self-sabotage, stop and ask yourself one question. How old do I feel right now? Not how old you are, how old you feel, because in that moment you are not an adult making a choice. You are a child running a program, and the program has an age. Sometimes you will feel 7, sometimes 4, sometimes 14, whatever age comes up. That is the part of you that is still driving. You cannot change a program you cannot see. But the moment you see it, the moment you name it, something in the machinery loosens, the grip weakens. The neurons that have been firing together for 30 years start, for the first time, to fire apart. And the choice, for the first time in your adult life, becomes actually yours. You have been told your whole life that you are the author of your choices. You are not yet. But you can become that person, not by trying harder, not by wanting it more, but by learning to see the small, scared, brilliant child who has been making your decisions for you, and finally, gently, taking the pen out of her or his hand. The loop does not break with force, it breaks with recognition. And recognition begins the moment you stop asking, why does this keep happening to me? And start asking, who inside me keeps choosing this? That question is the door. What you do after you walk through it is the rest of your life. if something in this video touched a part of you that has been waiting to be seen. Subscribe. This channel is for people who are ready to stop living on autopilot and start understanding the machine underneath. In the next video, I am going to show you the exact 3-minute practice that rewires the loop. Once you have learned how to recognize it, I will see you there.